We're going to talk today about the top 4 questions that buyers are asking right now. Number one is, how can I know if this is the right time to buy? A lot of people will try to time the market. They want to sell when the market's up, and then they want to buy when the market is down. But there's no true way to time the market. The best time to buy and the best time to sell is when it's right for you and your circumstances. The right time to buy is always going to be based on what's going on in your life. Are you getting relocated for a job? Do you have a baby on the way? Have you went through a divorce? There's a lot of different life circumstances that can require you need to buy a house right now. So that's what you need to look at, because if the time is right for you, then the time is right to buy a house. The second question is, will sellers continue to lower their price? I think short term, yes, we are going to see prices going down a little bit, especially as the mortgage interest rate continues to be in the mid to high sixes. Now, once people get accustomed to not being in that crazy market that we saw for the past couple of years, I think we're going to see prices level off some. So short term, yes, I think sellers will continue to come down on their prices somewhat, so that buyers can afford to get the mortgage and buy their house. Question number 3 is, will the market crash? Now, back when the market crashed in 08, I was doing mortgages, but I do remember it very well. And the words market crash have a different meaning for a lot of different people. And I think a lot of people still have that fear from 2008. If you lived through it, if you were a seller who was trying to sell after 2008 for 2 or 3 years, you know what a nightmare that was. If you were a real estate professional during that time, you know what a nightmare that was. So the thing about the 2008 crash is that it was fueled by predatory lending, subprime mortgages, and unregulated markets. The subprime lenders basically gave a mortgage to anybody that had a pulse. I can remember when I was doing loans, we had programs for people all the way down to like a 560 credit score. They could get 100% financing on a house. And looking back, that just seems ludicrous. If somebody has never paid any bill on time, which is probably what's going to generate a 560 credit score, why in the world do you think they're going to pay their house on time? And then you had the subprime lenders that were doing the 228 ARMs, but they had a 3-year prepayment penalty. So a 228 ARM, that's an adjustable rate mortgage, meant that your rate was fixed for the first 2 years, and then it could adjust. And so the line that loan officers gave people was, well, this 2 years gives you an opportunity to get your credit straightened out so that you qualify for a lower rate. But the problem was the loan had a 3-year prepayment penalty. So if you had done 100% financing, A, you didn't have the equity, and 2, you sure didn't have the money to pay that prepayment penalty. So there were a lot of different factors that went into why the market crashed in 2008 the way it did. But there's a big difference between what happened then and the natural swing of real estate. There's always going to be ups, there's always going to be downs in real estate. The only thing that's constant is change. So I believe that the crash that we saw in 2008 was a once in a lifetime event. I don't think we're going to see anything else like that for a very, very long time. Question number 4 is, what's going to happen with interest rates? Now, if I knew the answer to that question, I would be a millionaire and I wouldn't have to sell real estate anymore. I don't have a crystal ball. Nobody has a crystal ball to be able to tell you what interest rates are going to do. Based on what I've read, based on what I'm hearing, I think interest rates are probably going to get real close to 7% again. But I think by the fourth quarter of 2023, we're going to see rates coming back down, and they're probably going to level off somewhere in the 5 to 5.5% range. Next year's an election year, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to want to get the mortgage rates down before that election comes out. So I think the last part of this year, we're going to see rates start coming back down, and then they will probably drop a little bit lower the first part of 2024. What do you think? What do you think rates are going to do? What do you think the market's going to do? Leave a comment or send me a DM and let me know your thoughts.